Hey everybody, this is Zach Westy,
And Mr. Zones.
and today we're looking at Out of Nowhere Episode 2.
Episode 2.
Yeah, and this was the first one that you helped me out with.
This is where my debut happens.
All
Yeah.
I can say is that I'm looking forward to getting back to some sense of normal. Oh my God, Charles! What did you do? I didn't do anything.
So, when we first started this series, we had one episode, and as I mentioned before, we sold it to, we pitched it to Start to Continue, and they asked for 5 more episodes, right? And there are 5 categories of genres of film in the movies, and so we wanted to make a movie in each of those styles, and this was comedy.
Yeah. I mean, they're all funny.
Yeah.
Like, comedy is the general genre
Yeah.
of the entire series. But this one is more comedy. It's meant to be kind of ridiculous, dumb, stupid comedy kind of stuff.
Yeah, I think, we have a car accident and survive it for no real reason.
Yeah.
Otherwise,
This is the least realistic one in a sense.
Pretty much, yeah. As realistic as a show that has an alien as the main character can be.
Yeah, an alien married to a rabbit.
Yeah. Man thing.
You do a terrible job of filling me with confidence. Yeah, I'll work on that.
No, you won't.
Yeah. So originally, this was going to be silent, and I added in the applause to indicate that this is a character.
I noticed the fire extinguishers. You had to place the fire extinguisher manually
Yep.
as a prop
Yep.
on that table.
For each scene that it was in.
I know, right? Well, I can tell.
And there begins one of our many reoccurring gags in the series, the name of Dragons in the Corn.
You can just call me Greg.
I honestly don't even remember how we came up with Grizager Hobbs.
Well, Grizager Znober is somebody who actually worked on the movies. His name is in the game.
Oh, okay, that's
Yeah.
right.
And so he was just an actor, and you were just needing a fake name back then, and the name was Grizager Znober, and it was oh, that's just ridiculous. I love it.
So how'd you
Yeah.
end up out here? Meh. Failed to stop an alien from destroying the entire city.
Oh, that was you.
Yeah.
Forgot about
How
that.
about you? How'd you
Yeah.
find this planet?
What? Oh, right. No, I'm human, dude.
Oh, sorry. It's just.
Man, we like this episode too much. We're watching.
Yeah, we're just gonna listen to it.
Yeah.
How'd you end up here?
I was looking for a job after college. This was the only one that didn't involve stripping.
Yeah, I hear you there. I got pretty lucky with my last job. I have no idea what I'm going to do moving forward.
that was my feeling in life at that point, because I had left Esterville just recently and had moved where I am now, and I left a decent job for essentially nothing, because I was just coming to
Best burgers.
where I am now for the opportunities.
Yeah.
How could I turn that down?
So,
Hey, are you two going to Luigi's?
yeah.
Yeah.
Bitchin', count me in. We can use my car.
So in episode 1, we had focused on Shovelhead. So for episode 2, I wanted to try to have Charles be featured in it, and I really wanted to feature more of Charles in this season.
Don't know.
But it's just he just became too much of a comic relief character that it was just kind of hard to bring him in.
Well, he was always last thought.
Yeah,
He was never. His ears are sticking.
yeah,
out
his
of the
ears are
car.
sticking out of the
This
car.
place looks exactly like that other city that got.
I
That's
wonder
because
why that
it's-
is.
Yeah, it's because I only have one set to work with.
Up, heads up.
And we completely added this out of the blue, right?
Yeah. Because we
Yeah.
Bummer. Looks like it's
we
closed.
created this episode. We made the script for it, but
Yeah.
certain parts of it were made while we were creating the
Yeah.
episode, putting the scenes together and stuff, and we did all that in one day.
Oh my goodness! And here comes Jez's Diner, which was a
It's the bane of our
it's a
existence now.
terrible set. I hated this set. You can barely hear it. Each set sort of has a background noise.
It has its own ambiance.
Yeah, it's ambiance that is really great, because then you're not necessarily sitting there in a vacuum and it sounds more alive. But the ambiance in Jez's Diner is terrible. We're sitting there one time listening to it, and it sounds yes, the little lean move. I didn't think I'd be allowed to keep that in when I was first making it.
Well, it's just because
That'll be the special
it was always timed so perfectly.
Yeah.
right up.
And
Yeah, and then the lead.
the last one.
Yeah. So, anyways, there was this moment in Jez's
But
diner
it's not the best.
where he just, I'm sorry, I'm going to be like jumping around a lot during this scene because there's just so much going on in Jez's diner.
Oh, I
This
Why
this
didn't you tell me this?
conversation right here was an actual conversation I had with my old roommate where when I first moved in, where we went somewhere and then he complained about it later. And it was like, well, you could have told. I'm new to the area, dude. You could have told me, like, oh man, there's a better like Mexican restaurant off the street than the one we went to. Like, why are you bitching about, like, you know? And so
If you insist.
yeah. Yes, and the appearance of the Devil Sons member.
Motherfucker.
Also me.
Yeah.
Hey, Frank. This is Johnny. You know that guy who ripped off?
So in Jez's diner, there's the ambiance sound that one time where it sounded like somebody had like dropped a whole bunch of dishes, and then they just like dropped them on the ground and like it breaks them, and then they pull out like a power hose. Sorry, I just remembered the cactus. Oh, that's the special.
Yeah.
And then they spray down like the dishes with like a power hose or whatever, and it like overpowers all the audio.
The whole reason that we had to stand up and do everything standing is because we had 4 actors on the set, and there was never a scene we could build to have 4 people sitting at a booth when you could clearly see that there should be.
Yeah. So this conversation that's going on right here was a conversation that my sister had at a restaurant, and it was just the funniest thing that had happened to her. So I just had to include it.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah. Other than the ending tirade.
Right, that was our own little addition.
You
Yeah.
know what? I wrote down the orders. Let me double check.
But yeah, this legitimately happened to my sister, and I it was really hard not to like laugh in the moment.
Yeah, we just had so many problems finding the right props, the right
Yeah.
scenes in this place. Like we were hoping to do a full scene in here, and we just
We
were
cut,
given
yeah,
virtually
like,
nothing.
When they're in the alleyway with the Devil Sons, that's supposed to be
Jeez, that was annoying.
in the diner.
Let's just
Yeah.
go outside.
But yeah, when he says let's go eat outside, that's because we had spent like
Oh, I did it.
20 minutes trying to get the scene that they were in working
Charles.
in the diner, and it just was not working.
Yeah,
You ripped the head honcho off, you son of a bitch.
holding invisible weapons.
Yeah,
again.
holding invisible weapons there.
They're members of the Devil's Sons. The Devil's Sons.
So I wrote essentially in the script, all Greg does is say something along the lines of,
Say it like that in
he goes like, Charles, who are these people? And it's like, oh, they're members of the Devil's Sons. And you're just like, the Devil's Sons? Like, really concerned. But, like, when you read it for the first time, you were like, the Devil's Sons? It was just so funny that we just completely changed it to where anytime you mention their name, you say the Devil's Sons.
Using that one recording.
Yeah,
We
it
used
is that
through the
one
entire
recording
show.
over and over
Sure
again.
you can handle me, sweetheart.
So his mouth isn't moving here because
He's an extra. We didn't
Yeah, he's
realize
an
that.
extra.
There's so many things that we learned because we already know like a lot about the movies before we went into this, but we learned even more about it.
Because, like I said, in stunts and effects, you're now able to move your camera around when you're filming. So we moved the camera over to an
Like a-
extra, and
yeah,
so while we
background
weren't
character.
able to sync the noise to the lips, we were at least able to put it on them and have them doing what
What's taking them
what
so
Frank and
long?
Johnny
Yeah.
are doing right now.
Because if you'll notice, their lips don't move. Although lip syncing is always such a crapshoot in this game, anyways. But
Yeah, it's gotten better.
yeah,
Huh. I guess they were too chicken.
Hey, they said that you guys were gonna pay for their check.
Those dicks.
How are we gonna get back at them now?
okay. So this is the introduction of the head honcho, who's voiced by alternate Orc, who was a member of Start to Continue. And he did a decent job of playing the head honcho. It was a difficult role to try to pull off.
Yeah.
And I thought he did all right.
See?
Yeah.
I do remember that they frequent Jez's for whatever reason.
Well, Zach, it looks like we can't go to Jez's Diner anymore.
That's fine.
Yeah. Beatles. I think of the Beatles every time I see that.
That's fair.
Yeah. Even though that wasn't the intention at
Hey,
all.
where have you guys
Right.
been?
We went to Jez's Diner.
Why would you go there?
Zach wanted to go there.
Why would you
I don't
wanna
know
go to
why I
Jez's
included that
Diner?
S at the end of there.
Yeah, I never really noticed that.
Yeah.
Suggested it.
Did you add the echo because
Yeah.
of the way that he recorded the line?
Yeah.
Okay.
I probably would have had the echo in anyways, but
Mhm.
yeah. It was definitely to like make it seem more like, he's calling them out in the middle of town.
Who are
Yeah.
those guys?
Members of the Dever Sons?
Same line every time.
Yep.
What are they doing here?
We might have pissed them off.
Oh man. So
Very bad.
this is so weird to
Why?
think
We
about
could
because it's
probably
like
handle
we're
these
about a
guys.
year off of like making this episode
At the point,
at this
Almost
point.
exactly.
Yeah.
God,
A little more actually, because
Yeah,
I
yeah.
came over in February.
Yeah.
Yeah, so.
And it's just so weird thinking about like all that's happened since then because like we were making this before the pandemic hit.
Anybody
Mhm.
about this place, we'll have to deal with the entire world
Yeah.
trying to come and
Yeah.
wipe us out.
So it's 2 years.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah, because it was February
Yeah,
2020.
yeah, I guess you're right. Wow.
You
Jeez.
think? What are we gonna do?
He's got a little heart on his chin.
Greg,
Yeah.
Top of his head.
Yep.
So long as it's better than going to Jez's, count me in.
That is a joke that like nobody laughs at when
Yeah.
the first time they watch it.
Why don't you pick on someone your own
Which is supposed to be like the emotional end of the Jez's Diner arc in my opinion.
Who are you anyways? Name's Zach Westy. Used to work for the government, but kind of between jobs right now.
I hear that. Economy's been rough on a lot of us.
Boy, did I call that one right.
Yeah, That broke me. That broke me the first time because I didn't know.
Yeah.
We didn't have that in the script, and you
No,
just added
yeah,
that.
I added some. So originally we were gonna try to make like the episodes together, but with the COVID-19 pandemic, we had to essentially work in different places.
Yeah.
So I'd have to call you up and get you to send lines to me to put them into the movies.
Yeah.
And if you're wondering why it's like this episode seems like really different after the head honcho shows up, it's mainly because of that. It's because it's just me working on it at that point.
Yeah. The editing became different.
Yeah.
Because I don't want you to hurt the rabbit man thing.
And why is this?
What can I say? You're starting to grow on me. Now, Greg!
Oh man. Yeah,
Exactly what was that supposed to accomplish?
that's one of my.
Honestly,
That's a pretty good
I
bit.
don't remember.
Oh, I love that bit.
Yeah.
Guess I was kind of hoping he'd take out your other henchmen.
We just love this episode. We're just really quiet watching it.
Yeah.
Go home and forget all this?
Oh man.
No.
No. Oh man. Yeah. So here's a question for you, and I've posed this question to you before. Do you think that was always part of Zach's or Westy's plan
Greg,
to
look out!
have it seem like Greg failed,
I mean,
or do you think
I
that
would
they
say-
just sort of rolled with it?
excuse me. I would say no, probably because it gets brought up later on
Yeah, fair
in the
enough.
show, and
Yeah.
and my character's like, I don't know. It was his idea, but
But
I was never really like in on it.
Yeah.
It sounded like.
Hard to compete against.
So this is my fiance's favorite episode as well, because it's not necessarily my favorite episode, but
Yeah.
my fiance, who voices Jen Busty, really likes this episode.
what's going on? Did you tie me up?
Where?
I'm just going to say,
Look, man, I got limited stuff to work with here.
protect the people that live
There are some times when I'll write a scene, and like Jez's Diner is a classic example of it, where it's like I wrote a scene with like, 3 people are sitting at a booth and they are all eating.
Yeah.
Why should that be an issue?
It's a diner.
Yeah, when I can have people like literally fighting with kung fu like motions and everything. Like you're at a diner, it makes sense that you'd be able to like sit down and eat.
Yeah, the possibilities of the type of scenes you're able to make in this game
It's
so vast and yet very limited.
Yeah,
at the same time.
it's like a mile-long puddle.
The chances are, if the Gamer sons.
Which makes it
Turning.
really interesting to work in the movies.
I doubt he'd be
And I
the
think
type of
it's
person
something that
to
makes it a bit more fun.
It is, yeah.
Yeah.
like him.
Because like we write the script and then we go, do you think we'll be able to accomplish that?
Most of the times I try to like write scenes in mind of like how I would make it in the movies.
Yeah.
And
Knowing most
otherwise
of the
having
scenes at this point, anyway.
otherwise just dialogue scenes.
Yep. Shouldn't see from them again anytime soon.
That's a relief.
So Zach, I thought I heard you say that this is.
So this episode I originally
Planning on
wrote
staying.
by myself. And you had helped me.
I just helped with the editing process.
Yeah, you helped me
mostly.
like while we were writing it, so I gave you a writer's credit as well because
Mm-hmm.
I'm just really weird about trying. It's really difficult to try to figure out writing credits, and we'll probably talk about this a bit more in episode 3, which is
which was primarily written.
yeah,
by
which
me.
was primarily written by you, but then it's like
Oh, we'd be happy
it was
to have you, Zach.
I had the plot outline for it. You primarily wrote it, and
Mm-hmm.
I had a couple of things. What do you do there?
Yeah, exactly.
So
Down, Westy. Nice to have you as a new resident.
yes, and then calling back to the beginning of the episode.
For my mother, you hopping jackass.
And that was just you.
Yeah,
toned
that's just
down,
me.
right?
Yeah, toned down a bit. Originally, I wanted it to be like somebody who's going like, "That's for my mother, you hopping jackass," but it just wouldn't sound right. So I just
Right.
made it like it sounded too much like Zach.
Yeah.
So I like pitched it down a bit and like made it a bit slower as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, but this episode was fun.
Yeah, I really enjoyed that one.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah, and see, as the waitress, I did kind of the exact opposite.
Yeah, where you
I
pitched yourself up.
toned my voice up.
yeah, because you voiced the waitress. I guess
Mm-hmm.
we didn't. Yes. Yeah. So as we're heading into the end here, you got any further thoughts on this episode?
Not really. I think we.
Oh
think
yeah, I
we
forgot
said-
about the post-credits.
Wow,
scene.
you almost paused it, huh?
Oh, yeah, I almost paused it. And nearly cut off Zeta's big return.
Yeah, we
'Cause
put
that-
in a little stinger at the end.
Yeah, that was to keep people's minds like ready for like this upcoming narrative of like
Right,
the
because
finale.
honestly, episode 2 is like the start of the series.
Yeah.
As a whole, in a
Yeah.
sense, where like the things the episode
I
one,
would-
episode 1 was like the prologue in a sense, whereas episode 2 is like the start of the
Yeah.
show. I would
If,
say.
if anything, like I wish I could like start people off with episode 2 because I feel it's just such a better like introduction to the series.
Kind of like how we made episode 0 later on in
Yeah.
our previous show.
Yeah. Very true. Where it's like episode 1 almost feel like you said, it feels like the prologue to the series. Where episode 2 really feels like when we, it's definitely where like I stopped doubting whether or not we would make a good series or not when we got done with episode 2.
Yeah, that's fair.
Hmm.
That's fair. Quality wise, we also agreed
Yeah.
that's where like this is the starting point of the show. This is when things are gonna get good from
Yeah.
here on.
Yeah. And I hope and I feel like other people would agree with that too. I mean like I know your friends sat down and watched this series, and my friends have as well. You know, it probably would have been a smarter idea to have interviewed them before we did this, but anyways,
I mean, I got their opinion when they watched it. So
yeah. So, anyways, thank you all for watching this, and we'll see you on the next one.
tune in for episode 3.
Yeah.